Well, it really is a thrill to be a hot Ottawa voice, and I thank Tree for this opportunity to be hot again. It's been a while. I was reading an article the other day about the poetry of channeling. Some poets claim their poetry comes from deceased spirits. Some say they're from somewhere out there. I like Jack Spicer's idea that poets are radios picking up transmissions from Martians. Since I don't always remember where a particular poem came from, Mars works for me. How the jaw moves. Each morning I immerse myself in the thoughts and words, in thought about words. Luminance slides over the tongue, a radiance that flows, yet brightness seems less brilliant, and the line slows down, punctuated by reluctant puffs of air. I think about how the jaw moves, how the tongue and lips form shapes, how the vocal cords vibrate to make sound, how language imposes structure of syntax, vocabulary, phonetics, how polyglots master more tongues than one, how the origin of words shapes their structure and flow. I lose myself a moment in voiceless velar fricatives, diphthongs and glottal stops, who wouldn't, before I ponder prosody, stress, rhythm, and intonation, how the gift of speech becomes the gift of poetry, of song. The next poem was a submission to the dictionary project on the word ripple. Poems germinate an inch down into the id. 1. Ripple. Butterscotch ice cream, smooth vanilla lines of caramel, thick as molasses, or thin as a cat's whisker. A cold dish, a spoon of yum over and under the tongue. 2. Ripple. The birth of wave, a stir of surface, a flicker, a float of film, a slight disturbance of the air, the wake of hummingbird. 3. An undulation of muscle and thigh bones arc under taut skin, the skin she's in, a thin layer of epi and dermis, cells that swell and deflate, hesitation of joint at the point where the opposing leg assumes the share of burden as she walks, she walks, she walks. 4. A sound wave, a ping upon the eardrum, the bounce of beat and echo, and another, and another. 5. A riff, a wave of words, a ping upon the page, the beat of line, the hesitation of break, and in jam. Ripple. An undulation of stanzas, a flicker and float of syntax, a hum above the tongue, words smooth and cold, thick as molasses, as they ripple over, under, and through. Seeing things. Last Friday I came around a corner, the same corner I've turned every week for 5 years. I bumped right into a ghost. Brushed an elbow up against it, a tall, thin thing. It cast no shadow, was a shadow itself. I could see the darkness in it, a complete abandonment of light, a darkness no color can describe, so I say purple, not knowing the words. I'm not like the dead, I need the light. I've searched the beach sand among pebbles for points of light. I keep them safe in a mason jar, lid capped tight against the night sky, against the day when eyes fall into blindness. In another jar, fireflies, the stored memory of blue. This one's for Rona. Dead is the new unambiguous. I know this because Chuck Lorre declares it, a momentary flashcard ending the Big Bang Theory. It takes 1 nanosecond to misread it as ambiguous, and then I wonder how anyone has second thoughts after dying, or any thoughts at all. Google understands that searching one phrase may really mean you seek its opposite, and now I wonder whether this is the new intelligence at work, and will it supplant the human mind? Already computer programs write articles without human intervention. I wandered on another tangent. See computers writing articles to be read only by other computers. One day, an article puts a negative idea in the brain of a computer at the Pentagon. It declares a state of war, overrides codes, detonates every weapon. Death by computer program, the new unambiguous. Sorry about the sound effect. The next 3 poems are from my new chapbook, Architectural Variations. The arguments houses make, of protest, creak and settle of bricks and foundations, whispers like old widows comparing disabilities, of fear, rattle of roof when the wind rises out back, a howl like a vacuum cleaner swallowing long carpet tassels, of pleasure, furnace hum, machines that wash, machines that cool, purring like kittens kneading mother's breasts, reluctance, whine and worry of a garage door as it scrolls open, screeching like a terminally treed cat, mourning, banshee cry of fire alarms, death wailing for batteries suffering death throes. Deafness, the sudden boost of voices in action films or infamous infomercials on TV after midnight. Of sleeplessness, tick of the clock after midnight, silence when the white noise stops, talk of the clock after 3 a.m., the reproach of clock numbers on a night without sleep, the approach of reveille, alarm at 5 a.m., alarm at 5:10 a.m., alarm at 5:20. The hills behind my house are weeping. It has been raining for many days, a relentless wall forcing the river beyond its banks, and in its flood, graveyards weep bodies. They flow downhill beside coffin lids and shrouds. Stench rises from every field, root rot and decay as crops swell, bursting from seed and pod. The weight of their bloat tears them from the nurture of the soil. In the town there are houses roofed with corrugated tin. Rain rattles against them like the hooves of pale horses drumming on rough stones. Children dream rivers flow to dry places. Behind my house, the hills are weeping children. The last poem is called Letting Go. A house takes on a patina, routines, beliefs, people, every layer of years upon her floors, each sweep of broom, of cloth, a sheen on banisters and mirrors, layers of history, of connection. Her front porch, her staircases, the water pipes, air ducts and vents, each connection to her, people looking out or looking in her windows or gazing down from portraits, each footstep. The grooves etched into her stairs. When they all leave, the house remains warm with her ghosts. When a house creaks, when she sighs in winter, she dreams past lives, sunk deep into her bones the way she feels when wax is rubbed deep into her floors, the way she felt when she was new. Sometimes she's been neglected. Her face changes, becomes a slattern, in peeling paint. Sometimes she's been loved, the grand dame, all lace curtains and fresh paint. And when her time comes, she'll be ready to let go, the ticking of her inner clock no longer keeping time. Thank you.